Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a lovely Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date in yellow gold. This is reference 118208. It is classic 36mm yellow gold Day-Date with a Cognac fully loomed dial. So this Day-Date is 36mm in diameter by 12.3mm thick, lug-to-lug. It's 43.3mm, and end-link to end-link. The total distance across the wrist is 47.3mm. The watch has a 20mm spacing between the lugs, and this example was sold in 2018. The timepiece is easy to wear on my 16cm circumference wrist. Classically compact. You can see that the watch slides into place with plenty of clearance on either side. These lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. It's also a low-lying watch at under 12mm thick with a domed bezel. It slides easily underneath the cuff. This is a watch that wears well on any wrist, male or female, and I could recommend it on a wrist as small as 13.5cm circumference. Once more, my wrist is 16. The watch includes a Rolex President bracelet, and I should mention Rolex has its own foundry. It smelts its own golds. It makes its cases, clasps, and bracelets. Since the 1956 debut of the Day-Date, the President bracelet has generally been part of the package. It was born with the model, and while the watch is often nicknamed Rolex President or Presidential, properly it's always been named the Day-Date. The bracelet, however, is named President. It's a 3-link design with greater solidity than the 5-link Jubilee dress bracelet, though it has the same elegance, and it also vents better and has short length souplesse that you don't find in the Oyster bracelet, which is also a 3-link, but it has long individual links. This has short cross-section links that are very silky. Polished centers, polished outer faces, satin shoulders. You can see that there's a conforming end link to integrate with the case, and then a little bit of taper to the bracelet down to the removable links, which on both sides are numerous and fixed by screws. We have a robust thick gauge gold single fold deployant clasp here and a pivoted locking crown clasp. You can see how this works. You have to actually unlatch it now. It's no longer friction snap fit. There's a beak and a hook system that you can see well, so a lot of security. You can see this is the crown clasp, famous because the only visible partition point between the two halves is actually the 5-point coronet. And so that is how you open it up. You unlatch and you open. Taking a quick look at the case, this is a classic Rolex Oyster case. We first saw the Oyster water-resistant case in 1926. It hasn't changed much. There's a screwed-in Oyster case back, and here you could see a twin lock crown in gold. You know it's a twin lock in gold because it has 2 dots, 100 meters water resistant. The reason this is a 208 and not a 238 is 0 indicates a domed bezel, which is an uncommon inclusion on these watches as they generally feature fluted bezels. But right here we have the domed bezel, which gives it a little bit of a vintage Rolex bubble back-like look. The dial is sunburst metallic Cognac and gorgeous. Hands, indices, and the Rolex crown are tarnish resistant, really tarnish free, inoxidizable yellow gold. That's why Rolex makes its dial furniture out of solid gold. It won't oxidize, tarnish, or fade over time. We have plenty of luminescence here. You can see this is pre-Rolex Chromolite. The watch has 2 subsidiary setting modes. One is a stop seconds function, which I demonstrate now, hacking seconds right there. And then we have a double quick set that allows me to independently set the day and the date. So this is a double quick set Day-Date. It has a little white railroad track outboard for reading seconds as well as minutes. And you can see that there are little Roman numerals outboard of each applique hour index. Now the movement inside is the Rolex manufactured caliber 3155. Automatic winding with bidirectional action. It has a 48-hour power reserve, a 4 Hz beat rate. It pivots on 31 joules. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. It has the full balance bridge for shock resistance and a free sprung balance for both precise adjustment and additional shock resistance. It has an overcoil hairspring made by hand with a brigade profile that allows the watch to keep consistent time in every position and to ace that COSC chronometer test. And then the hairspring is a niobium zirconium alloy that also makes it highly anti-magnetic. Rolex calls that parachrom alloy. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.